Hi everyone, I'm Don Peterson. I'm out at Iron Horse Golf Academy today. I was actually here yesterday and I was observing a club fitting. We had Ping and a Ping fitter here yesterday doing a fitting, and one of the members, I don't work with him, but he was looking for some new clubs, but he was having a hard time choosing clubs because he was shanking. And he didn't shank just his short shots, he was shanking some of the longer irons as well. So I know the fitter pretty well, and he didn't really feel comfortable giving the man a lesson, so he invited me over to take a look at him. So I went over there, and what I observed was his hands were pretty small, and he had mid-sized grips. And I don't want to get into too much detail about what I changed, but I just explained to him that his grips were too big for him, and that caused him to grip it too tight and use his right hand too much during the downswing to try to square the club face, and caused an outside-in swing path, or caused him to hit it off of the hosel and hit a shank. So I had him choke down on his grip quite a bit, put his ulna bone or his lead heel pad a little bit over the top of the grip, and I had him feel the club face release or close because of the proper positioning of his hand on the club and the smaller grip. He immediately felt that, was able to hit better contact within just a few minutes, and started launching it actually quite a bit further, and actually started hitting a little draw. So I thought, well, I need to explain this to people, because there's probably a lot of people out there who are falling into the same trap where they're buying these grips based on how they like it to feel. Oh, this feels good, I like this fatter grip. So I want to give you a little bit of history about the clubs that we use and why they're designed the way they are. And this is an older club. Probably, I guess it would be back in the 1920s probably. But back in the old days, the better players were the ones that we turned to for knowledge about clubs and how we design clubs. So the better players liked a smaller grip in their hands, so they designed clubs with smaller grips. And then later on, I know one such story where Karsten Solheim, who started the Ping company, he used to inquire to his amateurs what they liked and what they didn't like about clubs. And what happened was, I think club manufacturers then started designing clubs not according to what the best players wanted or liked, but what the amateurs wanted, what they liked, and what they liked the feel of. So what I'm trying to explain to you here is that fatter grips have become popular because manufacturers are now making fatter grips because amateurs say, hey, I like the feel of that. Well, in my opinion, anatomically and geometrically, the club doesn't fit in your hand as well. So what we've got is we've got fatter grips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to pause the camera for a second. I'm going to use this baseball bat. It's got a little bit thicker handle on it here. So I'm going to turn it around so it's tapered like a golf grip, and I'm going to show you anatomically what we're looking for and why you want to get smaller grips maybe if you have smaller hands, and especially shorter fingers with puffy muscle pads. Like if you've got a lot of muscle pad here in your heel and you've got short fingers, you might want to get smaller grips. Actually, lady-sized grips might work better for you. So I'm going to show you why. Hang on just a second. So now what I'm going to show you is, if you watch closely, I'm going to put my hand in reaching under and show you how my ulna bone and my wrist is to the left of the butt end of the club in this kind of weak position. And what happens is now if I come into impact with forward shaft lean and my hands arriving just slightly ahead, you can see how open that club face is down there. And what happens is then I have to flip it, and this flip action, it can cause shanks and pushes and blocks and all kinds of problems, topping it. So we want to get our hand, now watch how I reach down here on the smaller portion of the grip. So this grip now is smaller, and notice how my wrist has changed position completely over the top of the grip. You can't see the butt end underneath here like you can like this. See how you can see the grip coming out? So now I've got it completely over here. So watch what happens as I come into impact now with forward shaft lane and my grip in the proper position. You can see the club face now squares. So there's no need to push it or flip it. It's going to come right through square and then continue to close as I rotate through with my body and allow my forearms to roll naturally through the ball. So you can see how important it is to have your grip in the right position to start with, and to have the right size or right thickness of grip. Too large or too fat can cause you to come into the golf ball with this bad position, open face, and make you flip it at impact. I'm standing here now. I'm going to take off my glove so I can show you on my hand. This right here, the bone that sticks out on the bottom of my wrist here, that's called the ulna bone. And if you've probably seen some books. Ben Hogan was one, he put this in his book where he just picked up the club with the forefinger of the lead hand. And you can see how the muscle pad and the ulna bone is up on top of the grip here. And if you can get it up on top of the grip like that, then it becomes, you know, you're centered right here from the front view. You can see how my anatomical snuff box now is completely over the top of the grip, which is where you want it to be. So this is a little check you can do where you should be able to pick up the club. Notice if I have it too much in my palm or if I'm reaching under with my hand too much, see now I can't pick up the club. It's not underneath that ulna bone. So you want to get that ulna bone and this muscle pad completely on top and then hook that finger. And once you get that, then you can just close the 3 fingers. Now, a lot of people are concerned with, they think that the grip should be big enough that there's an 1/8 of an inch gap, kind of like that. If you see a gap in there, they think that that's the right size grip. I've never found that to be true. My fingers come around and they touch my palm of my left hand right here, and I don't see that where that's a problem. It's more important for me to get the ulna bone on top and get the center of my wrist back here over the top of the grip so that when I pick it up, you can see right there, center of the wrist on top of the grip. Now I can square the club face with ease, and I don't have to flip. In fact, instead of flipping, my wrist will roll as it goes through the golf ball. You want your wrist rolling, forearm rotation as you go through, not flipping. So the moral of this story is most of you, or a lot of you, may be playing with grips that are too fat for your hand, for the size of your hand. If you're slicing, if you're flipping, if you're having some of the problems that I described, you might want to try a smaller grip just to see how it works for you. You can shave off one of the grips on a 7-iron or something like that. Put a small grip, and a lot of times if you have really small hands, small short fingers with a large muscle pad, then you might need a lady's grip, believe it or not. It might feel really good in your hands and might allow you to release the club and start hitting a draw instead of a weak slice. We also, like I said, increase a lot of club head speed because your release will just be better. Solidness of contact and what we call compressing the ball is all going to happen because you'll have forward shaft lean instead of flipping. So if you enjoyed this tip and it helps you, please like, subscribe, and as always, check out my next video.